Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. I am Becky, and today we are back with another 12 by 12 layout we are going to be creating. I do have this pre-made kit. Actually, it's just a collection, and I put these photos of Cash in there because there is a plaid paper in here that matches his little jacket so well. So I put these photos in here to come back and play with at a later time. Right here, I am just going through the papers trying to figure out what it is exactly I want to be using. You can see I pulled out that plaid. Of course I did. That was the whole reason I put those photos in this collection in the first place. I do love to play with scraps a lot. So when I put photos in with my collections, a lot of times that is what I start with. I start with scraps. If it's a brand new collection, the very first page, I almost always will have a sketch or something. But when I use scraps, sometimes those just kind of make the page themselves, right? Or if you have a really, really good hero paper, sometimes the design on the paper really just guides the layout as well. But these are scraps, so we're just going to go ahead and dig in, right? I am pulling off some stickers off the sticker sheet, things I think might work. This is a collection from 2021, I do believe. It's called Celebrate You. It's a birthday kind of, but also there are some New Year's type elements like the champagne glasses and things like that. I pulled off what I thought might work for these photos. Here you can see I do have some tags cut out from the scrapbook paper, but also I do have some stamped images that I had stamped out in colors that coordinate with this previous. This is like, I don't know when this collection, what did I say, 2021? So probably these are things I stamped and or cut out in 2021. So I'm just revisiting this now here in 2024. So I do have the photos, and I picked out the scraps that I wanted. I picked out a couple full sheets that I thought might work. That paper I just set to the side. I set it to the side because I thought that would be a great photo to mat. So that is what we're going to use. It did take me a little bit of time to figure out what size I wanted these photos, because this photo that I'm matting right here is a full-size photo of Cash, and the other one is a photo from behind him. So I had to figure out the size of the full-size photo first and then make the other one match it. So that's what we did there, and we went ahead and backed it with that paper. This right here, I am going to be trimming it down. We're going to use that other paper I just had out there a second ago as our background, that one right there. I do not gut it because the other side is just some balloons. It's just a paper that's, I don't know, it's kind of nondescript. It has just little doodly type things on it in a yellow, a navy, and a kind of a glacier color, that light blue color. Yeah, it's just a basic paper, so I didn't really love it, so I didn't bother gutting it, is what I'm getting at. The other paper we just trimmed down and put it in there as kind of one of the bases, but we're going to be using that plaid as the main base. Right here, I'm going through some things that I had already previously cut out a few years ago. We already discussed. There were some circles in there, also some tags. I had some stamped stars. They tie in really well. This is a lot of fun revisiting older stuff. I wouldn't go about it the way I went about it, because for me, these are collections that I purchased and played with them just a little bit because I didn't feel like it. You know, I didn't feel like scrapbooking. But now, you know, 2 years later, I can go back and revisit it. And this is all super duper fun to me because I'm like, ah! So I'm glad even though when I wasn't scrapbooking, I'm glad I still purchased the things, because I've been having a very good time going through my older collections that I didn't have the opportunity to scrapbook with then. Scrapbook with then. Words, right? They're so hard. So right here you saw, this is where I discovered those stars that I had already previously stamped and put in with this collection. I did add some navy blue. That navy blue, I will go back in and remove that and just add another yellow one. These right here are little brads. Now I had some brads. I don't know where I got them, but I did have some navy blue ones. So I pulled out all the navy blue ones I had. I think there was like 5. I am going to be using those throughout the page. Right here is a stamp. It is kind of a texture stamp. This is from a beach collection we had last year, maybe the year before last, but there was a texture on it. So I am going to pull out that texture part of the stamp and we're just going to stamp it around. I am going to be mostly using a second generation stamping. You're seeing right there, I was having a hard time getting the first generation off to go to the second generation because I didn't have anything under the paper I was stamping on. All right, right here we are going to be ripping the edges of this second base layer just to make it kind of tie in a little bit more with that plaid, because that plaid we ripped as well. So I'm going to have 2 of the layers are going to be ripped, and then the die cut pieces, they're clean. They are completely clean. So it's kind of a nice rip with a nice clean. I kind of like that together. Here I am using some double-sided tape for the back of this layer. This was a piece of cardstock. The opposite side of this cardstock had some silver foiling on it. That's why I wanted to use this double-sided tape. I think it might hold better, I'm hoping for, because sometimes the foil, you know, it doesn't really want to stick too great. So I had it out, or I pulled it out for that, and I still have it out, so I went ahead and put it on the back of this as well. That's just what we're going to use to stick this down like that, and we'll put our photos back on there. Now that photo where Cash is in the background, this one right here, we're going to overlap the main photo over it. The main photo is going to be up on foam tape. I'm only putting the foam tape on the pieces that are directly onto the page. So the parts that hang over the small photo, I don't have adhesive on. Going to rebuild this cluster right here, and as per usual, the cluster comes back together not exactly how we had it to begin with. And this happens a lot, even if, you know, I take a photo of how I have it laid out. Every time when I put it back, it's a little bit different. Sometimes it's a lot bit different, which in this case, I think it's a lot different than it originally was. But yeah, it's always a little bit different. So we are going to go ahead and commit to the placement we had it in before-ish. Now, I think this is kind of cool because most of these pieces, actually, I think all these pieces are pieces that I had went and cut out using dies or whatnot, you know, 2 years ago. It was really fun to revisit it. It was really cool that it was already there for me to play with. I think I might start doing that before I put a collection up when I'm done playing with it for the time being. Maybe with some of the scraps, maybe I'll cut out some tags or something and just stick them with that collection because it was a nice little find. I really enjoyed that a lot. You can hear in the background, it's raining. It's so nice. My roof is tin and you can hear it. You can also hear my dryer, so sorry about that. You see right here, I am committing to the placement of these navy blue brads. I have not yet, but what I like to do when I have brads, I like to put some washi tape over them on the back side. Often I like to mat them again with the white cardstock in the back just to make them a bit more sturdy. It's a little more costly, but it just, I don't know. I really like the feel of it when there's an extra piece of cardstock back behind there. So probably I might put the washi tape down over the brads in the back, but I'm probably also going to put a piece of cardstock behind there as well before it makes its way into my album. Yeah, this cluster up at the top looks way different than it did before. Look at that big space. There's a big empty space, so I had to go on the hunt for something to fill that space up because I put it down completely different than how it was before, and now there's an empty space. So I did find this Heidi Swap pack I got, I don't know, years and years and years ago. Many of you have this pack, but I was able to make that best day ever work. So yay, that's kind of cool that I was able to use something from that pack. I still love enough pieces in that pack that I'm not ready to pass it on yet or throw it out or whatever. So I'm really happy that I was able to get that best day ever used. All right, guys, I don't do anything else this layout. I want to thank you so much for joining me. If you'd like to support my channel, please go to beckybidding.closetomyheart.com. You can check it out down below. Perhaps this collection might still be available. I don't know. I haven't checked yet. All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining me. I will see you next time. Bye, guys.